treat for you. I've got 5 amazing cheap fragrances that are really, really good and perfect for spring and summer, and most definitely have a very feminine edge. So let's start, shall we? I'm going to start with, this one is from Yves Rocher. It's called Chevalie Fleur Rare. Chevalie Fleur Rare. Now you can get one with a yellow lid. You can also get one with a red lid. One is the Eau de Parfum, one is the Eau de Toilette, and I forget which is which. But for your information, this is the one we're talking about. And I have it here. So, ooh, that's really good. So, this is not for the faint of heart. And don't be put off by that bottle. And it is a bit annoying that it's a dabber. But that being said, God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Okay, cut. I'm not saying that. However, it's actually such a strong fragrance that dabbing it on is not such a bad idea. It almost reminds me a little bit of Alien, which I've never actually realised before until just sniffing it now. So this is a white floral fragrance with resins and vanilla. It is really, really strong. It's quite loud and it's very pretty and very feminine. It lasts very well on the skin, and you can buy a bottle on eBay very easily for absolutely definitely less than £20. I haven't looked at eBay on any other sites apart from the UK, but I'm certain you can find that very easily wherever you are in the world. It's discontinued, and if you're on a budget and you want to smell amazing, different, because you won't smell like everybody else, there's nothing else really like this currently available in the high streets, so you will smell different. Some people might think you smell a tiny bit like Alien, but it's not close enough to Alien. It's a real heavy dose of sexy jasmine in there, and that's probably why I'm thinking Alien. It's a good alternative to Alien. Can't believe I'm comparing it to Alien. I had never ever made that comparison, and here I am saying it's a good alternative. But it really does remind me of Alien now, out of nowhere. It's a really great, heavy jasmine, sexy, deep, rich fragrance. So yes, I said for summer and spring, it could easily work in any weather because it's so strong, and I would just go lighter on the warmer days. So that is Chevalie from Yves Rocher. What's next? Okay, this one is called Neroli's Portofino, and it's by Perfume Parlor. It is an obvious dupe of Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. Now, I find Perfume Parlor can be a little bit hit and miss. I don't love all of their interpretations, but this is probably the best dupe from that house that I've tried. It smells to me just like Neroli Portofino. The only difference is when you spray it on your skin, you do get that oil film that you get with a lot of the cheaper fragrance houses, the clone houses. You do get that kind of oil that sits on your skin, but it's no big deal, just rub it in. It smells just as good as Neroli Portofino. I can't tell much difference, just the opening is ever so slightly different, but it soon dries down into what you know as Neroli Portofino. I've received compliments, quite a few, wearing this. Honestly, I'm not joking. I have this at work in my drawer. Sometimes if my fragrance isn't lasting very long, or if I get bored, I spray this on top. And on several occasions, people have walked behind me while I'm walking around the building, and they've asked me what I'm wearing and told me that I smell good. And that is about £12 for that bottle. So I highly recommend Perfume Parlor's Neroli Portofino if you're on a budget, or maybe you own the real thing but you don't want to spray it every day, you want to save it, then get that just to spray on your normal everyday kind of days and save your Tom Ford for best. So what's next? This is called Sun by Jil Sander. I believe I paid around about the £20 mark for this 50ml, 75ml, this 75ml and a matching shower gel, which is actually really nice as well. and that was in a TK Maxx. So you can just keep your eye out for bargains in the cheaper discount kind of shops. You should be able to find it, and I'm sure also online, on eBay, etc. you will find this very cheap. E from Simply Put Scents, Imitsu, recommends this one in certainly one of his videos that I watched quite a while ago now, and he recommends it to men. So don't be put off by the fact that this one is marketed to women. It can definitely be worn by men. I'm going to spray some on my skin, and it kind of gives you a really fresh and clean feel. It smells like linen drying in the sun in a flowery meadow. A little tiny bit like sunscreen, but not as much as, not as sunscreeny as you might expect. Just a hint, just a tiny hint. But to me, it's more about fresh, clean, musky, a little bit laundry musky, but it's got a very vibrant citruses running through it as well. It lasts extremely well. I'm not saying it's a beast, not by any means, but you will get 5, 6, 7 hours out of it. And at that price, you can just spray away. Spray away. It's a really excellent fragrance. I don't know why I don't reach for it more often. It's probably because I am a bit of a snob and my cheapies don't get as much wear as my more expensive stuff. Plus I worry that I'm going to die and leave behind loads of full bottles of really expensive stuff. It's just a stupid thing. Very stupid. Okay, I've got another perfume parlour for you, and this is Soleil Blanche. So this is a dupe of Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, and this is another perfume parlour that really just gets it right. It hits the nail on the head. I'm going to spray some here. I was going to invest in a bottle of Soleil Blanc because I really love it. It is sunshine in a bottle. It is sunscreen, it's coconut cocktails, it's exotic florals, it's tropical island, happiness bottled. It is beautiful. Now, they've since released the new Eau de Toilette variant, and I've tried that in the shop as well. More citruses and fresher in the opening, but it smells pretty similar. And had this not come out, I probably would have ended up buying one of those Tom Ford fragrances. But what happened was I decided to try Perfume Parlour's version because I didn't feel like spending £150 on a 50ml bottle of perfume. And I'm so glad I did. I honestly can barely tell the difference. I really can't. It is gorgeous. If you like Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, then I do recommend that you try the Perfume Parlour option at £12 for a bottle. You can also get oil variation, so little roll-on oils if that's your thing. Kind of not mine, but it's a good way of testing out their fragrances without buying the whole bottle because they're a lot cheaper to get the little tiny oils. So you can buy a load of oils, see if you like the way they smell, and the ones that you really like you can then go and buy the proper spray bottles. So finally then, and these were in no particular order. Did I tell you that already? Can't remember. Doesn't matter, does it? I don't think I've got any arms left to spray. I could kind of go right up here, like a junkie, rolling up my sleeve, tapping my skin. I'm going to go on here. I should have told you what that was. This is Lulu. Lulu by Cacharel. You can buy these bottles very cheaply on eBay, Amazon, discount shops, cheap shops. You can still find them in normal, full, at full retail. They're not quite so cheap, but because it's been out for so long, you can definitely get it really cheap, and it smells really beautiful. It's slightly medicinal. Now, I have to admit, my bottle I got mine on eBay, and it's just by chance and pure luck that I've got a bottle that dates back to 1996. So I recommend searching eBay and looking for people that say, oh, I've had this at the back of my cupboard and for so many years, I don't really use it. You want that kind of person, and you can potentially get yourself a vintage bottle. And I say that because apparently the new version is not quite so good. I've smelt the new version in shops. To me, it smells good. I can't tell an obvious difference, but when you're in a shop, you can't really examine you can't really examine things up close and proper and side by side and all that stuff. So if it's important to you that you rather have a pre-reformulation, you can search and try and find yourself a vintage bottle. But what does it smell like, more importantly? It is a frangipani fragrance, which, as you may know, it's one of my favourite notes. I love frangipani, I love tiara flower, gardenia. I like really fleshy, rich, exotic floral fragrances, but for some reason tuberose doesn't work for me. Don't understand why not, just doesn't. Same with lily, not keen. But this is all about exotic, beautiful flowers, frangipani kind of flowers, and lots of deep richness in the base and lots of lovely vanilla. And as I say, this is slightly medicinal. It might just be down to the age of the bottle, but to me it's in a very good way, it's medicinal. It's really rich and heady and exotic, and again it conjures up that tropical island feel, but there's no coconut in this one. And I wouldn't say it exactly smells like sunscreen, although it does contain frangipani, which is often in a sunscreen. It is just utterly beautiful if you can get past the memory of Lulu, because for a lot of people, particularly my generation, you may well have a lot of memories associated with this fragrance, and it may feel to you old-fashioned or cheap, but if you just smell it with an open mind, it is a really rich, beautiful fragrance. It could be a niche fragrance against everything else in the shops, in the current market, in the designer realms. This could be niche. It really does stand out. So if you haven't made the effort to smell it recently, do go and give it a sniff. See if you can find it in a local shop, maybe an old chemist. Some of the pharmacies and chemists will stock fragrances like that and that, the ones that aren't so popular and so modern and recent. So well worth going out and trying to get your schnozzles on these lovely fragrances. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.